Draw Every Day with JJK.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Draw Every Day with JJK. It is School Lunch Hero Day week. We are celebrating the women and men who work so hard every single day to make sure that our nation's kids are fed, and we are especially thankful for them this year as they are bringing lunches to our communities. So today I'm going to teach you how to draw Lunch Lady's assistant, Betty. She's the sidekick. But before I do, I want to talk to you a little bit more about writing. So yesterday I talked about brainstorming. You know, I see something in real life, it sparks my imagination, and then I get to making things and sketching things and drawing out the character and coming up with concepts. But then how do I plot out the book? Well, I use a device called the Story Mountain. Here, I'll show you what it looks like. So I make a little chart that looks like this. And then I'll sort out what's going to happen at the start of the story, the rising action, the climax, the biggest moment of the story. And then the falling action, and then the resolution. You see, I'm a visual thinker, so this helps me think of the story in a more concrete way. When I'm writing, I like to have everything figured out before I write the first sentence. Now, here's the other thing about the Story Mountain. I don't have to start here when it comes to coming up with the ideas. So what I'm saying is, I don't need to dream up the ideas for the story in the same order the reader is going to read it. For instance, what I might do is I'm going to write down ideas as they come to me. So when I was writing Lunch Lady and the Cyborg Substitute, I clearly remember that my first vision was there was a battle between Lunch Lady and robots. So it might be the climax you come up with first. Sometimes you might know the ending first. The resolution is the kids discover LL's dual identity. And for me, it helps to know where I'm going. So at the start, I might say, well, if that's going to all happen here, Lunch Lady is suspicious of substitute teacher. Kids curious about Lunch Lady. Now, as I go along in this rising action, this is what I want to do. I want to make things more and more difficult for my character. The further we go up this rising action towards the climax, we want to put our characters through the ringer, because if you make things easy for your character, you will make them boring for your reader. So as much as you love your character and they become your friends, you have to put them through some difficult times to engage the reader and keep them interested. So maybe we'll have something where somebody gets kidnapped and it looks like all hope is lost. And then we can come back in here, maybe with another color, and add things. Kids worry about test. So oftentimes books might have an A plot and a B plot. So I'm often putting lunch lady through some problem and the kids also through some problem, but they tend to all come up in the climax and they all come together. So that's a story mountain, and it gets messy and it gets crazy, and that's fine because it is for your eyes. And then the next step is you would talk about maybe writing the manuscript, but we'll get into that tomorrow. In the meantime, let's go check in with those pugs. It's time for Pug Cam. All right, thank you, pugs. So Betty is Lunch Lady's sidekick. You know, James Bond has Q, and Q invents all of the gadgets that James Bond uses. Batman has Robin. Inspector Gadget has Penny in the Brain. Lunch Lady has Betty. And Betty is her trusty sidekick, also inspired by an actual Betty that was the lunch lady at my school. Growing up at Gates Lane School, we only had 2 lunch ladies. It was a fairly small school. It was always lunch lady and Betty working together to feed everybody. So again, I'm going to start with my shapes, and I draw a circle, and then I draw a bell shape. And that will represent the character's head and torso. And I'll figure where her arms go. I'll figure out where her feet go. I'm going to add that plus sign so I know what axis to put her eyes, nose, and mouth. Betty has a tight, small perm, and she has a little cap. She has a collar. She has her yellow apron. She has short gloves versus Lunch Lady's big rubber gloves. Short sleeve shirt. And there's my pencil sketch of Betty. Now, the reason why I like to draw with a brush is because you get just a very dynamic line when you draw with a brush. As you apply more pressure to your brush, that line will get thicker as the brush grows wider and closer to the paper. But if I lift up the pressure, it'll be thin, and with just a flick of my wrist, it'll go from thick to thin. There she is, Betty, Lunch Lady's faithful sidekick, inventor of all of those Lunch Lady gadgets, like the spatchicopter and the spork phone. Now, I really want to see how you all would turn your school lunch ladies and lunch dudes into superheroes. And we could share them for School Lunch Hero Day. I'll put them right here on the show. And in the meantime, I'm going to bring my kid Lucky on so that they can show you how they draw their lunch lady and some of the awesome school lunches at their school.
Family draw time!
All right, everyone. Lucky, welcome back to the show.
Hello.
Lucky is going to draw lunch lady superhero, and we're going to talk about
I'm a unicorn.
school lunch at Lucky School. So you go for it and draw, and we'll talk, okay?
Okay, okay.
So you have 3 awesome lunch ladies.
Yes.
Miss Sarah
Mm-hmm.
and Miss Kim
Yes. Oh.
And Miss
Boba.
Miss Barbara. And why don't you talk about some of the lunches they make for you?
They make pasta, pizza, French toast, cheeseburgers,
And you get salad. You would get salad sometimes
yes,
too.
I get salad most of the time.
And you always talk about their ranch dressing.
And grilled cheese.
Oh, you love grilled cheese.
It's good. Dish. Done.
Okay, and excellent. Well, I hope that you can make some artwork for your school lunch heroes and think about some creative ways that you can share that art with them. And today I'm going to end the show by sharing other things that have been done in the past for School Lunch Hero Day. I still want to see your art though. So grown-ups can continue to submit the art. I'm getting them, I'm collecting them. We're going to share them in a video probably later this week. But for now, I want to encourage you guys all to celebrate School Lunch Hero Day. Check out these amazing celebrations from School Lunch Hero Day past. I'm Lucky.
You're lucky.
I'm Jarrett. You're lucky. Well, I'm lucky that you're my lucky. See you tomorrow.
Please click like and subscribe and keep drawing. See you soon.